Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 28 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. So last time we got quite a few revelations. We found out that Weather Report is apparently Poochie's brother. We learned this from one of the sons of Dio, who I do definitely believe was telling the truth, even though it seems like Hermes and Jolene weren't quite as convinced instantly. But I definitely believe he was telling the truth. And apparently that means the star appeared on him at the same time as Poochie, but how does that work? I have a lot of questions still regarding that. But apparently Poochie needs Jolene's luck. And so that's going to be interesting to see how that comes into play. Last episode, though, our opponent used a stand that controlled these cryptids called rods, which are a real-life cryptid, which in real life are basically just like, you know, probably bugs or something that fly in front of cameras and all, and it just ends up like creating these little like dashes of like light and whatnot, looking shit. It's nothing in real life. Like, it's just a little, like, fun, cryptid kind of thing people made up. But they, in JoJo, in this universe, it's been very much proven real. They are real creatures. And his stand could control them and could cause, you know, body heat to be sapped, which causes all kinds of bodily issues to occur. One hell of a creative stand, like legitimately a really good creative stand. But yeah, and where do we go from here? We had one adventure now with Weather Report and Anasui, and we had one with Hermes, Emporio, and Jolene. So are they going to reconnect in this episode, or are we going to get something different? It's hard to say. We know everyone's on their way to Cape Canaveral. But where do we go from here? I guess we're just going to kind of have to find out. Because we've got more Sons of Dio to contest with, and a lot more to just deal with in general, so I guess we see. For now, though, let's just get this going. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. This was interesting, and this is, again, another very interesting stand. Let me look up real quick, because Underworld could refer to a lot of different things. So I wanna just kind of know like exactly what it is referring to. I assume it's a song, like a lot of these have been. Apparently, the localized name is Netherworld, which is actually kind of a badass localization. Like some of the localized names are actually pretty good. On occasion, it does happen. Ah, Jesus. I hate that. Okay, apparently Underworld's not a song, it's the name of the band. Okay. Are we good? Whenever I go to a fandom, like the website fandom, whenever I go to a page like that, looking something up, for some reason, I don't know why, that website uses up so much CPU, and it slows like everything else down. So I'm sorry if there was a little bit of lag and shit there. But yeah, apparently the name of a band. Okay. Just not one I know off the top of my head. But either way, so yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff here. We have our trio get to the hospital where Poochie is hanging out. While Emporio goes off to deliver the disc, Jotaro's disc, to the Speedwagon Foundation, Jolene and Hermes head inside the hospital to confront Poochie. We see there Poochie is with his newest minion, the final son of Dio, to our knowledge, Donatello Versus. And we see that there's other stuff going around at the same time. Apparently there's this 8-year-old kid named Mike who was shot by his father. And while Versus is talking to Poochie and everything, and also checking his food for shellfish, because apparently Poochie's allergic to shellfish. I don't know if we knew that before. It's such a random little fact. But his stand activates and uses the memory of the fact that this boy was shot by his father to somehow cause the father to be shot as well. I don't know exactly how that works, because the father was actually shot. Like that it actually happened. They made a point of telling us that. But either way, Jolene and Hermes go to investigate, find a giant hole that is so very, very clearly a trap in the floor. And while Hermes tries to convince Jolene not to go down because she's worried about her and she doesn't want her to get hurt, and I ship them so fucking hard. Jolene convinces her and is like, here, hold my string. And it's like, oh my god. My poor gay heart can't take this. She's like, hold my string. We'll if anything happens, I'll call up to you, pull me out. And she goes down into the hole and finds herself in an airplane. Because what? We find out that Versus Stand Underworld has the ability to extract memories from the Earth. Anything that has had any connection with the Earth, presumably throughout all of human history, or I guess just the entire history of the Earth itself, can be extracted. So a plane crash that happened years ago, the fact that the father shot his son and everything, it's like all of this can be extracted from the Earth. Even Sports Max and everything. Everything can be extracted and used as kind of illusions, but also presumably not. It's like they're brought into existence. They're brought into existence and they're enacted upon in reality. So, presumably, if we see this plane crash, the fire and everything within it will be real enough to affect Jolene and Hermes and kill them. And so presumably that's what happened. That's the only thing I can think of to what happened with the father getting shot. The Earth remembered the gunshot and it made it real enough to shoot out towards where the father was sitting. Which is exceptionally OP. Like, a stand like this is really strong. Like, because if it can remember anything from the Earth, from anywhere, throughout all of the planet's history, you could basically just drum up anything. You could drum up the Hun army if you wanted. It's like, seriously. There's like, if it's that strong, I don't know actually how far-reaching it is, because it seems like everything has at least been in Florida so far. Because the Sports Max thing was in the Green Dolphin prison. The father shooting the son, obviously, right around Orlando, or in Orlando specifically. And the airplane crash was also in Florida. So it's like, maybe it has to be within a certain range, but still, even if that's the case, there's a lot that can just be taken from that. It's like, even if it's just Florida, just the state, there's so much that can be taken from that. It's fucking Florida. Like, come on. Like, there's all the memes about, like, the news stories you hear coming out of Florida and everything for a reason. There's some whacked up shit going on in Florida. Nothing against Florida, by the way. I'm just, you know, rolling with the meme and everything. But yeah, it's wild, even if it's just localized like that. Because it can still go back years and years, and also, how do you fight something like this? This is wild. Like, the Bohemian Rhapsody was a pretty wild stand. The stand from last episode was pretty wild. I can't think of the name right now for some reason. But that was a pretty wild stand. It's like, so far, the stands in this part, at least for these Sons of Dio, have been exceptionally insane. And just really strong, really creative. And it's like, wow, I'm genuinely really impressed by this. So far, these first few episodes of the third batch have been leagues above a lot of batch 2. Batch 2 was just so disappointing, like, there for most of it. But this is redeeming this part for me big time. Shit like this is the kind of shit I expect from JoJo. The really good creative stands that have exceptionally fascinating powers. It's like, yes, please, more of that. Less of the weird ass shit we got in batch 2. But yeah, it's like, I'm really impressed by this. Now the question is, where is this going to go from here? Because even after they defeat Donatello Versus, what's next? Poochie's probably going to escape, so it's like, is he just going to find others? It's like, there's not going to be more Sons of Dio, right? And then we also have the fact that Weather Report and Anasui are on their way. It's like, how's that going to tie into everything? It's just so many questions. So many questions. But this is good. This is really, really good. I'm enjoying this a lot more again. And hopefully it keeps up on this track to where I really start to get back into part 6. Because again, that second batch of episodes did not do Stone Ocean any favors. But let me know down in the comments below, what did you think of these episodes, or this episode rather, of Stone Ocean? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.